Queen Myrrah, self-appointed leader of the Locust Horde. The story of Queen Myrrah is hidden deep within the lore of Gears of War. Now I'm going to explain how she fits into the story and how she's connected to the Lambent and the Locust. Now, according to some information from the Epic forums, a long time ago, emulsion was discovered by humans and used as a possible fuel source, since their other resources were running out. While it was in a slowly evolving state, it would still infect some life forms, but would not cause rapid mutations. Some miners would develop an emulsion sickness called rust lung. The government would keep using this fuel source while trying to find a cure for rust lung. While the Locust remained hidden deep underground, the humans were unaware of their presence, but they did stumble upon some type of rock locust, which seemed to have a stronger resistance to the emulsion sickness, so it was taken back to the New Hope research facility to be studied. The scientists would run tests on this locust by mixing its genes with some of the miners who were sick with rust lung. While the miners would later mutate into the creatures known as the Sires, they then became uncontrollable and deemed as a failed experiment. So, they are essentially humans infected with Lambent and mixed with locust DNA. Now, as to the exact answer of, is Queen Myrrah a locust or human? Some websites list Myrrah as a child of the scientists who conducted these tests. But according to Collectible in Gears of War 2, the children of the miners would develop altered genes, but only one of them had a high success rate of developing this resistance to lambency. Her name was Ruth. As for the other children, they had lambency in their cells from birth, and so they turned into the locust or sires. I only bring up Ruth because her face has some similarities to Queen Myrrah. Although it's unclear what happened to Ruth, it's possible she was one of the children and became a sire, but some people believe she became Queen Myrrah. While Queen Myrrah led the Locust army, the emulsion sickness would spread amongst the other Locusts and turn them into Lambent. Their numbers would outgrow the Locust, and so a war began between the two factions. And according to the comic books, this was during a time when General Srock was in command of the army, and Rom had joined forces with Scourge to fight against the Lambent. While they both risked their lives against the Lambent, General Srock was giving lies to the Queen. But when the truth came out about their situation against the Lambent, Srock was then sent to the front lines against the Lambent. He was a failure as a general and a leader. This was the moment when Rom was appointed as general. Queen Myrrah also mentions that she had made contact with an outsider, a human who can help them get rid of the Lambent. This human was Adam Phoenix. But later on she realizes she placed false hope in the human, and those plans are taking too long. Adam Phoenix could not help Queen Myrrah because he was ordered by the government to create weapons of mass destruction, weapons like the Hammer of Dawn. At some point in time, Queen Myrrah was going to consider contacting the humans and asking for help against the Lambent, but she thought humans would never accept her people and would only try to dominate them. So Queen Myrrah cared for the survival of the Locust, so she and General Rom agreed to invade the surface. This moment was called Emergence Day. I also want to cover the topic of how the Locust reproduce. Queen Myrrah actually has no involvement at all. There's a collectible in Gears of War 2 that says the Locust reproduce by mating with the Berserkers. Now, during the Gears of War story, the government decides to use the emulsion as fuel through a process called light mass processing. But this later gets turned into a weapon called the light mass bomb, and is used at the end of the first game to wipe out the Locust. While it does kill off a lot of Locust, the bomb also causes the emulsion to generate accelerated growth properties. So this caused an even bigger problem for the surviving Locust in the Hollow. The emulsion would then become more infectious and cause extreme mutations. This caused the Locust to wage a war against the humans for survival. The comic book about Rom even shows that the Locust run their own experiments. The mount that General Karn used was a mutated corpser. Shibboleth was intentionally created by Ukon. While the Locust had developed a very small resistance to the emulsion sickness, when they got infected, it made them stronger. But for human miners living near any emulsion, their bodies would become weaker and just wither away. This is because humans did not develop any type of resistance to the emulsion. It seems many high-ranking members like Rom, Scourge, Ukon, and Karn hated the previous general, Srock. His poor leadership led to the death of many Locusts. It also shows the strong bond and trust that is shared between Scourge and Rom. They refer to each other as brothers, not by their rank. Now, at some point in time, Myrrah searched for Adam Phoenix and found him on the island of Azura. There he was taken hostage and forced to continue his work on the emulsion countermeasure device. Myrrah wanted the device to kill the Lambent and humans, but Adam knew that was not possible. Adam tried to help Myrrah all those years, but he ran out of time. Adam was trying to prevent Emergence Day, and Myrrah had agreed to wait, but she also ran out of time. Now, the story of her being completely human is also linked to the end of Gears of War 3. The emulsion countermeasure device, designed by Adam Phoenix, was going to target the Locust and Lambent cells in any living being. The ending of Gears of War 3 shows that Myrrah was not affected by the weapon, which means she was human, and in the end, she was killed by Marcus Phoenix. She is mostly seen accompanied by the armored KANTUS, and she sends them out on special missions. Her mount of choice is the Tempest, a giant beetle with 4 wings, and its body was covered in gold armor. Its main method of attack was an extremely hot beam of light emitting from its mouth. Myrrah's original name was going to be the Geist Allmother, and during the Rom Shadow DLC, she communicated with Rom telepathically. Maybe this could be a unique power, or perhaps it was given the illusion of telepathy just for the sake of the story. So that covers Queen Myrrah in Gears of War. I've done a few more videos around the lore of Gears of War, so check them out if you're interested. You can also leave a suggestion for a video in the comments section. I'm also on Twitter and Instagram if you want to follow me there. So make sure you subscribe with notifications turned on. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.